In 2024, the U.S. commercial gaming industry posted a record-breaking $71 billion in revenue. That's a business where the math is rigged in the operator's favor on every single bet, every single day. And yet, some of the most famous casinos in history, owned by some of the richest people on the planet, still went bankrupt. So today, we're breaking down the actual business model behind a casino, how the revenue engine works, where the money quietly disappears, why the risks are bigger than they look, and whether owning one is actually worth it. Strip away the neon and a casino is just 3 different businesses wearing the same name, depending on scale. A small regional casino, the kind you'd find in Colorado, costs $2 to $5 million to open. That buys a modest floor of slots, a table or two, and a parking lot full of regulars showing up on payday. A mid-sized property runs $500 million to $1 billion. Borgata in Atlantic City opened in 2003 at $1.1 billion. A full hotel, restaurants, and customers driving in from neighboring states. Then there's the Las Vegas Strip, where numbers stop making sense. The Cosmopolitan opened in 2010 at $3.9 billion and is still the most expensive resort ever built there. And the building is just the entry fee. 2 costs catch almost every new owner off guard: the license and geopolitics. In Vegas, roughly $770,000 a year to hold one. In New York, simply applying costs $20-50 million. With zero guarantee you'll get it. Macau is the largest gambling market on Earth, over 3 times the size of the entire Vegas Strip. But the government only issues 6 concessions for the whole territory, with the next bidding round not until 2032. Even Pyongyang has entered the chat. North Korea is reportedly still hunting for an investor to finish the 105-story Rugong Hotel, started in 1987 and unfinished 38 years later, with the casino license bundled into the deal. Here's the part that makes casinos unlike almost any other business. Every game on the floor is mathematically rigged, not through cheating but through structure. The cards are real, the wheel is honest, the dice are clean. It's the rules that guarantee the house wins more than players over time. This is the house edge. Picture a coin flip. Heads you win $1, tails I win $1. Fair, 0 edge. Now change one detail. Heads still pays $1, but tails I collect $1 and a nickel. Same coin, same flip. But now I keep 5 cents on average every round. Meaningless once, enormous across a million flips. Different games run different edges. Blackjack sits near 0.5 to 1% with correct strategy. Baccarat runs about 1.06%. European roulette holds a 2.7% edge. American roulette, with its extra double zero pocket, nearly doubles that to 5.26%, using the same wheel and the same payouts. But the real revenue driver is slots. And here's the counterintuitive part. The cheaper the machine, the worse the odds. Penny slots, the ones people feed spare change into for hours, carry edges of 12 to 15%, while a high-limit blackjack table runs closer to 0.5%. Slots alone accounted for $4.9 billion on the Vegas Strip in 2024. More than every table game combined. The engine doesn't stop at game math though. The building itself is engineered to extend how long you stay and how much you wager. Classic casino design theory calls for no clocks, no windows, and maze-like layouts specifically to blur a player's sense of time. Though it's worth noting that researchers who've reviewed this design lore, including gambling psychologist Mark Griffiths, haven't found conclusive proof that clocks or windows alone measurably change behavior. What does have real weight? Constant sensory immersion, lighting, sound, layout, designed to keep people inside and playing. Then there's the sharpest tool in the whole system, the Players Club card. Every tracked bet feeds into a theoretical loss calculation, and casinos typically return roughly 30 to 40% of that projected loss back as comps. Free rooms, meals, drinks. It isn't generosity, it's reinvestment to keep players on the floor longer. At the very top sits the whale economy, a small sliver of high-limit players, often cited around 5 to 10% of customers, though the very top tier is a fraction of a percent, generates a hugely disproportionate share of total revenue. That's why a casino will comp a private jet and a free penthouse for one high roller. If their expected loss runs into the millions, spending $500,000 to host them for a weekend is simple math. With all that guaranteed math, the obvious question is, why does anyone running a casino ever lose money? Because gaming revenue and profit are 2 very different numbers. Out of every dollar in gaming revenue, roughly 70 to 80 cents disappears before it becomes profit, leaving a typical strip property with a 25 to 33% net margin. Payroll eats a large share. A strip resort can employ 3,000 to 8,000 people. Taxes take another bite, and this varies enormously by jurisdiction. Nevada takes a light 6.75% of gaming revenue. Macau takes 40%. Pennsylvania takes over 50% on slots specifically. Then there are the costs unique to running a casino at all. Surveillance departments watching every table and hallway around the clock. Decks swapped constantly to prevent marking. Millions held in physical cash on site, with insurance and security to match. Free-flowing drinks, not hospitality, but a lever, since a relaxed gambler bets bigger and stays longer, and regulatory compliance alone can run $500,000 to $2 million a year for a mid-sized property. The math delivers a guaranteed top line. Everything underneath it is a fight to keep enough of it. Almost every major casino bankruptcy in modern history comes down to one of two mistakes: too much debt and the wrong product for the market. In 1990, the Trump Taj Mahal opened in Atlantic City, financed with $675 million in junk bonds at 14% interest, requiring nearly $100 million a year just to service, before a single other expense. It missed its first bond payment within 6 months and filed for bankruptcy by 1991. A casino built on debt that needs perfection from day one is a casino built to fail, because no casino performs perfectly out of the gate. In 2012, the $2.4 billion Revel opened in Atlantic City, built for Wall Street executives instead of the bus trip retirees who actually made up the market. No buffet, no players club, smoking banned on the gaming floor. The finance crowd never came. The retirees felt alienated, and it closed within 2 years, selling for 3 cents on the dollar. In 2016, the $160 million Lucky Dragon opened near the Strip, designed entirely around Asian high rollers, only to discover they wanted the spectacle of Vegas itself, not a smaller replica of home. It closed 14 months later. The underlying paradox: no other business predicts its revenue as reliably as a casino does, yet operators fail at rates that would embarrass a startup, because the math only pays off at scale, over years, and everything surrounding it, debt, timing, politics, product market fit, has to hold up just as well. So does the math actually work out? Here are 2 real scenarios. Number 1. A $5 million regional casino in Colorado generates roughly $10 million a year in gaming revenue, netting around $2 million in profit, a 3-year payback, unglamorous but recession-resistant. And number 2, a $1 billion Las Vegas Strip resort, 2,000 rooms, 100 tables, 3,000 slots, generates around $900 million a year. The twist: only about a third of that now comes from gambling itself. The rest is hotel, dining, entertainment, and conventions. A modern Strip resort barely functions as a casino anymore. It's a resort that uses gambling as the hook. Net profit lands around $250 to $300 million a year, with a roughly 4-year payback. Stay in the game long enough, and the payoff compounds into something else entirely. Sheldon Adelson started buying casinos in 1988 and died in 2021 worth $35 billion. His company, Las Vegas Sands, brings in roughly $32 million a day. The verdict: the house always wins. The entire question is whether you can survive long enough, with clean enough math on your own balance sheet, to be the house. If you want more breakdowns like this, how real businesses actually make their money, the risks nobody talks about, and the numbers behind the glamour, hit subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.